Yo, what's going on, man? Welcome back to the Ages of Nerdz.
Yo.
I'm your man, I'm Haas Diesel, and I'm hanging out with AJ.
Yo, what's up, guys? AJ, what's happening today? We're going to get into a few good things.
Few good topics.
We're going to start out maybe with the multiverse for a little while, talk about that, how it kind of introduced the Spider-Man trailer. So we're going to talk about how some different generational video games affected us in our career, because we have a few guys from the Gamer Central over here hanging out with us today. But first, Avengers Endgame gross.
See, Avengers Endgame is like a big giant snowball, right? Like it dropped on the scene, and it's making a hell of a lot of money.
And a lot of money. You got to talk. Oh, it passed Titanic. Titanic was in the theater for
like my whole life.
I remember.
That's what it seemed
forever.
Like. Basically,
Forever.
So
in the 10 days that it beat it, 11 days that it beat it, I mean, you have to just say that it's just a phenomenal. It's going to beat Avatar, James Cameron. It's going to beat Avatar.
Yeah, so right now, you're looking at Avengers is over $2.4 billion right now, which is crazy, insane. Like, nobody in their right mind thought it would. It's not that it wouldn't make that kind of money, it's the fact of how fast that.
Yeah, we all knew that it was going to make that money.
Yeah, it was easily $2 billion.
There's no way that I wasn't making that money.
Well,
I'm saying 3. It's going to hit 3. Yeah, eventually.
It might hit 3, but right now Avatar is sitting somewhere around a little over 2.7 billion in a matter of weeks.
I'd say, give me 3 weeks.
Matter of
3 weeks, you'll be over. You'll hit close to 3 billion, and then it's just gonna go from there.
It might be a new king in town, so people are still going out there, still watching it.
I'm still going. I mean, I've seen it 5 times already in the theater, so you know.
Yeah, like
it's gonna keep going.
Yeah, and very deserving. You know, very deserving. It's just a great ending to a saga that we have 11 years invested in. So kudos to Marvel, Kevin Feige, and everybody that was a part of making
our childhood come to life.
Yeah, 100%.
But the age that we are, that was the time. That was what was going on back then within comics, cartoons, everything else. So just to see this now all together 10 years later is
it's sick. We got the Black AJ, the original Dundada of the PartyNerdz. We got Seth, the Wizard. We got these boys in here, man. They're gonna be in our roundtable discussion. We're gonna talk the multiverse. We're gonna talk how Spider-Man, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, and Thor: The Dark World has opened up the possibilities.
Apparently, somewhere in Doctor Strange they mentioned it too. I have to get back in to look at that, but we saw that somewhere lingering around. I gotta look at it. But yes, they talk about it in Thor: The Dark World. I mean, to think going all the way back to that movie, because that was one of my least favorite movies. So you're not even really paying attention to much, but when you do catch it, it's extremely interesting.
Yeah, because you got Dr. Selvig that
just figures it out.
Put it on the board for us.
Yeah, it has it circled 616 universe.
And the thing is, like, you never think about it when you see the 616. It's like, oh, they're talking about the main comic book universe, right? And you don't think that actually the 616 is actually the main universe in the MCU. So now with Spider-Man having Mysterio claiming he's from the Earth 833, now it's opening up the possibility. So we're going to get into that, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Like I said, we got a couple of homies in the house from the PartyNerdz Gamer Central in the building. All right, we got the original Dundada. We got AJ to my left over
here.
Yo,
what a two?
My man.
Glad to be here.
What's up? All right, and we got the Wizard over here, Seth.
What's up, brother?
All right, what's going on in the gamer world, man? What you guys got coming up soon?
Oh, man, we got so much coming up. We do a stream every Tuesday around 3 o'clock, almost every Tuesday. We've been on a hiatus for a week or two. We've had some health problems in the group, so we're all recovering a little bit. And now we're going to be getting back to it. You definitely got to check us out on Tuesdays around 3 o'clock on Twitch TV under PartyNerdz.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
And honestly, right now with the gaming community as a whole, it's the calm before the storm. Next month is E3. So that's when we're going to get all the Nintendo Directs, all the Xbox stuff. I know Sony said they're going to kind of take like 2 steps back, but they're still going to have something next month. It's confirmed we're going to have more Final Fantasy VII news. I'm so excited about.
But we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later.
I just went and bought a Nintendo Switch a few months ago just so I could get Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 because it was an exclusive.
Yeah, which is a weird choice, but I'm okay. Well,
that was my game back in the day too.
Right. I mean, they're filling in all those slots, so they're getting lots of games there. So
that's what they need. I'm not mad. All
right, facts. So, all right, so like we said before, man, we're gonna get into this the multiverse, right? With Spider-Man Far From Home, the trailer that just came out. Mysterio basically let the cat out the bag and said, "Hey, from 833, you're from 616. So, fellas, what do you guys think about the multiverse, man? That aspect that's brought into the MCU now.
They just made it so easy to incorporate the X-Men into the MCU. Because you can't be like, yo, we have these mutants who've been with us since, like, World War II. Because we're just now seeing them now. Like, if there were mutants before, we would have seen signs of the mutants before. But if they make the mutants come about as the multiverse and the snap and things like that, that just seems like... I'm sure Marvel will go about it some type of, like, really funny, quirky, unique way. It won't be that simple. But, like, that's the only way I can think of it where they can incorporate the mutants that make sense.
Okay.
At least that's just, like, my opinion. I don't know. But... it's interesting because there have been a couple other Marvel movies that referenced the multiverse. I think you said Thor 2.
Thor 2 did. Thor 2 did in the Dr. Selvig when he's in the loony bin and where Stan Lee makes his cameo and Stanley's like, can I have my shoe back? Right in there. He's writing, all the scribbles all over for the convergence.
Yeah, it's right there on the screen.
Right there on the screen, right dead center. It's circled. It says 616 universe. And then I saw somebody was mentioning it is mentioned in Doctor Strange somewhere. But I'd have to go back.
Yeah, Doctor Strange also opened up a can of worms with that because with the Ancient One showing Doctor Strange all the different realities. So that right off the bat, just to let you know that this is not the only universe we're messing with, right? So with the Spider-Man trailer, Mysterio, right, is claiming he's from 833. How much do we believe him though? Because his origin in the comics is that he's very deceptive, and he in the comics he wanted. His origin was that he tried to frame Spider-Man so he can look like a hero, right? So now they're doing it in the MCU where he's coming on as a hero, but maybe he's faking these elements. The villains that they're portraying, which they're portraying Hydro Man, the Sandman, Molten Man, but they're part of these like the Elementals or whatever.
Yeah,
so
it's all the same. It's all the same. He's doing it.
That's what it seems like to me.
I'm assuming it's he's doing it, but also I don't think they're gonna fake this whole not from the 816 universe because or 833. Sorry, 833, not 816.
Right,
you set up so much for it.
It's
going down.
And now you're not gonna just be like, no, they have to let him be from there so we can see the rest come with it.
Yeah. So I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the other night, and a big thing about this season is that we have a new Coulson, right? This season is only a year after that snap. So has nothing. So Endgame is 5 years. It ends 5 years in the future, right? 2023. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is only in
2019,
right?
Like
yeah, so it's only a year later from the snap. So they haven't done with the Avengers bringing back everybody, right? With the snap in Endgame. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Endgame,
go watch it.
It's been 3 weeks.
It's too late. It's too late. It's too late.
Just make sure you go to the bathroom first.
It's too late. There's no... So you just gotta get with it. Did you see the episode?
I have seen it.
All right. So what do you think in space?
So 2 things. As far as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. goes, just to backtrack a little bit. As far as a good introductory episode to the rest of the season as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's great. But I also feel like there was wasted opportunity.
I felt that same way when I was watching it.
It's a show where they could have shown what was going down during those 5 years when half humanity was gone, when new threats arise and there aren't enough heroes to deal with it. That could have been a very, very interesting show. And I get that they didn't want to they didn't even acknowledge the snap. They didn't acknowledge Thanos. And
if you remember the last episode, May came back and was like, yeah, we got the time, we got more time than I thought. She never actually said how he passed. They're saying there's a lot of talk saying he got snapped. And if you go through the season with this new Coulson from another Earth, and later in the season possibly they catch up 5 years, and you might get that Coulson back. You don't know.
Are you saying
so
maybe
it's very
she knew
confusing.
that the snap was going to happen somehow?
Well, if you remember the last episode, they knew Thanos was coming, right? So they knew.
Yeah.
That's the homeboy that went crazy and he thought he was a superhero and then turned into a supervillain. What's his name? Yeah, that went nuts at the end and he had
Talbot or something like that.
Yeah, he died at the end. Keep going crazy. They had to get rid of him, but he said Thanos is they said that I
think it was the Kree.
All right, so they knew the Kree knew Thanos was coming. They literally said on the show Thanos is coming, so they knew. So all that was happening as soon as that season ended, the snap happened. Right.
The very last thing you see at the end of last season is a snap.
Yeah. So
and then the screen goes black, and that's why I was like, what are they going to do next season?
Coulson is snapped. I'm convinced Coulson is snapped. and we're gonna get back to him like five years later.
So like if he was sick, I missed the last couple seasons of S.H.I.E.L.D. I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
So he was gonna die. They knew he was gonna die, but May maybe knew that the snap was gonna happen. Assuming that everybody
she wouldn't
brought
notice
back,
that. Nobody knew the snap was going to happen. They just knew Thanos was coming. Nobody knew the snap.
What I'm saying is they bring him back at the same point though.
Gamora was the only one.
Yeah, Gamora and Nebula.
Were the
So
only
it's like
two
he
that
got
know what's gonna
snapshotted
happen.
and then gets brought back after the snap.
Yeah, you guys
he
gotta
might still
check
be
it out.
sick, but maybe they can help him.
Exactly, he can come back and they can probably find a way because they're 5 years in the
But
future.
does this multiverse lead to? I've always like the X-Men. I can see that being the most rational.
It makes it
way to
easy.
bring them
It makes
in.
it easy.
But it's not. Is it the most rational way to bring the Fantastic Four and Galactus and Silver Surfer in?
Galactus
That
and
would be
Silver
cool.
Surfer. Maybe the Fantastic Four go to space to look at the international effects of the snap, and that's how they get the radiation, become who they are.
Yeah,
I feel like the Fantastic
That
Four,
would
they
be-
can introduce them at any point in time pretty
Exactly.
Pretty easily.
It's the X-Men because they're like an entire pretty much race, if you think about it that way, of people that you can't just say that they've always been here.
It's just the biggest storyline as any Avengers storyline you can. I mean, the amount of characters that they have.
So many.
It's the only way to bring them in to have their backstories intact in the way you want.
Yeah,
And they're like no less powerful than any of the superheroes
Right.
in the Avengers.
They're-
And
I
neither are the
think
villains. The villains are huge.
I bet the X-Men over the Avengers.
Really?
Dark Phoenix.
Dark.
Oh yeah,
I
Dark
mean,
Phoenix.
If you have Phoenix,
Am
on
I
your
the
team,
only
it's
one
over.
excited for this movie?
No.
Yeah,
No.
I'm excited to heck
no.
with it.
That movie's
We
gonna
have
be
to. All right.
bad.
So if we want to talk
real
Dark
bad.
Phoenix
I'm
for a little
not.
bit, all right.
I'm not happy about it.
I'm scared because it is taking a lot of the plot lines from The Last Stand, which was
the worst movie ever.
which
Other
was a
than The
crap
Dark Knight
show.
Rises.
If I could say it very nicely.
Yeah, don't get me started.
Um,
Good.
But-
I need a whole show.
With I'm scared about the plot lines, man, because it's the plot is a lot like The Last Stand, man. It's crazy how close it is, and there was a lot wrong with that. And Simon Kinberg was part of that. He wrote The Last Stand, so he's just trying to be like, you know what? I messed up the first time. I'm about to go watch what I do to y'all this time, and I'm scared about that. Now, the trailers look good. I'm not going to front on the trailers. Like the trailers look good.
The last trailer looks
But-
good. All the other ones look kind of mediocre, in my opinion.
The
They
last
didn't
trailers did
show a
look
lot in
very
any
well.
trailer before the
They
last
did that
one.
very
so-
well.
Yeah, so it's a trailer though. You know what I'm saying? And with
Fantastic Four trailer looked
Apocalypse,
awesome.
some of the Apocalypse trailers were
That's
good
true.
too, and we saw what happened with that. So,
Yeah.
worst.
we're gonna see
Another bad one.
we're gonna see it when it comes out. I'm just
So I have a bet with Jerv that Sonic the Hedgehog is going to get a better critical reception than Dark Phoenix. Because I think Dark
That's
Phoenix
tough.
is going to be trash.
that's tough.
I agree
That's
with
tough.
you.
That's tough because they're gonna fix Sonic. All right, Sonic's gonna be fine. They're gonna fix the way he looks, so he looks more like the Sonic we know.
Have white gloves and red shoes.
Why is he electric?
I don't.
Is he just moves so fast that he generates static? Is that what this is? Does that make sense somehow?
You got it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is he an alien?
He did say so on a different planet.
Yeah,
is
like what did he do?
So
with
how
the
did he
Sonic?
get here?
Yeah,
And then
did he run here?
you got Jim Carrey playing Jim Carrey.
Which is why, why I think the movie's going to be good. But like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jim Carrey's gonna carry that movie with this CG ass
Yeah,
Sonic.
yeah. If you like 1994 Jim Carrey, Sonic the Hedgehog's
yeah.
gonna be that. But back to the Spider-Man trailer, right? I just do know that multiverse is in the play.
So this is what I want from this movie. Now that they brought up the multiverse, they opened up a whole can of worms. I don't think this is going to happen, but if it does happen, it will be the tightest shit the MCU has ever done, including Endgame. You have the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? They just released Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. There are multiple Spider-Man multiverse stories.
Yep.
What if they bring back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield? And since Sony is making all the money from this, because like that's the way the Spider-Man deal works.
Yeah.
Any Spider-Man
Yeah.
solo movie,
Yeah, they're making
Sony
the-
gets
they're
all the
making
money.
money.
The team-up films, like Marvel gets all the money. But
Yeah.
since this is like Sony's film, and they did the other two Spider-Man movies, if they teamed up with like,
and they're gonna make $1 billion off this
like,
one.
yo,
They're making $1 billion.
if they
I have a
bring
bet
in
with Jerv.
Tobey Maguire
Jerv,
and
you know,
Andrew
the
Garfield,
bet's still on, Jerv.
It's
All
a
right,
wrap.
if you're watching, the bet's still on. I want my money because we're making $1 billion. Spider-Man Far From Home.
Easily.
it's the bet that it's going to make more than Endgame or just $1 billion.
No, it's just making $1 billion.
I think it's
It's
gonna be
brilliant.
the best Spider-Man movie to date.
Period.
And
Yeah.
I honestly I don't hate the Tobey Maguire ones.
I love Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man
I
2.
love Spider-Man 2.
Great.
I love Spider-Man. I love the first two.
But I think that this is just straight up going to be the best Spider-Man
probably
movie
will.
based on the stuff they have leading up to it. They have so much source material from the previous movies, even though they only have a couple. Like
Tom Holland's the best Spider-Man.
Yeah,
like,
he's really good.
Easily. It's not
like
even
he plays that young, fun Spider-Man, and he does it so darn well. Because Spider-Man's supposed to be a young kid who doesn't know what he's doing, who's just kind of literally winging it, and he is, and it's great.
What's different is that he has a hot aunt, and I never thought of Aunt May as a hot aunt. But Marissa Tomei, we love you. All right, keep playing that part.
Do it.
So, anyways, let's take a little break real quick, fellas.
See you in a bit.
We'll be right back. Moving on, as we're about to close out the show, we're gonna talk about some video games here, and I got two of the best guys in the business, in the genre, to talk about it. All right, so we're gonna talk about some video games that we love, and before we get into that, guys, where can these guys reach you guys to catch the streaming show?
Yo, so you can always check us out. But we should be getting back to it every Tuesday. You can find us on Twitch TV, usually around 2 to 3 o'clock. If you ever want to, participate in that, check out the chat. We always respond to people in the chat. We try to be as interactive as we possibly can. We're always playing all kinds of games, usually new releases, fighting games. Really, if you guys request something, let us know what you want to see.
Yo, we'll play whatever you want. We'll play fighting games, racing games, waifu simulators.
Make us play something terrible. That's
terrible games make for the best videos, honestly.
Yeah, they really do, because we hate playing them, but you guys like watching us hate playing them, so it's great.
There you go. What's your guys' favorite fighting game of all time? The one if you had a choice, I had to play this game to live. What are you playing?
Blue Central Fiction.
Smash Brothers Ultimate. A lot of people want to say, oh, Melee's better, or Project M, but Ultimate is it takes everything that came before it, refined it, and then multiplied it by 10.
Okay. It's almost like the Mortal Kombat trilogy when that came out, when Ultimate Mortal Kombat came out, and it took all the characters from everyone, and
which led into Mortal Kombat trilogy on PlayStation, which is that might be my favorite fighting game.
My favorite fighting game we're gonna have is Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
That's a good
choice.
2 is a good choice, but I'm surprised a lot of people don't talk about 3 Ultimate.
I love 3.
3's great.
3 Ultimate is awesome.
We have Virgil, we have Dante.
I might play Ultimate 3 when I get home. That game is awesome.
But 2 brought it to it was the one Marvel vs. Capcom. The graphics were good. The Street Fighter. That second one came out.
The second one's dope.
And it
second
really,
one's dope.
I could remember
the music
sitting there,
on that game is dope too.
My mom would always go to the mall, and I'd be in the house at the mall, and I'd be at that thing, and she'd end up waiting for me.
Yeah,
because I'd be whooping ass
Marvel
on that game all day.
Too is that
you see, I would say
it birthed part 3. So
I would say 3 Ultimate. I mean, you're definitely right. Without 2, we obviously wouldn't have 3. But I would say 3 Ultimate is better than 2.
It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful.
Not even the graphics. But it looks beautiful. Because it came out on consoles, they had time to patch it and rebalance it and things like that. It's a much more balanced game. Whereas with normal 2, there are characters who are completely and utterly garbage. Some characters that are significantly more broken. Marvel's still that tier listing.
It's smooth too,
it's smaller.
And it's smooth.
Can we just talk about real quick how in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Captain America just doesn't have a neck. He just has triangle shaped.
We don't talk about that game.
I don't even like it.
Nobody likes that game.
I'm not alone, right? I'm not alone.
No, nobody likes it.
I refuse to buy that game. I just keep playing. I keep playing Ultimate 3.
Yeah, because
why would you play Cash Grab?
Thank you.
It was Cash Grab.
RPGs. What we're liking.
Oh man, I love RPGs.
Can I give you a top 3 in no particular order? Because if we're doing top 3,
no, you can do top 3. You get 100%. Go ahead. What are we talking?
3 very, very different RPGs. I will have to say, Pokemon Gold / Silver / Crystal, because they're all same.
You just say Pokemon at that.
Yeah, I could.
You say the whole.
As far as personal favorite Pokemon game, those I would say Final Fantasy X. And I would say Kingdom Hearts 2.
Ooh,
top 3.
Good pull with the Kingdom Hearts.
Three very different RPGs, even though 2 of them are turn-based, but 3 very, very enjoyable ones. 3 that really defined my childhood and what RPGs meant to me.
Kingdom Hearts was a good pull.
Yeah.
One Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 7.
The best game for PlayStation ever.
Final Fantasy 7. You remember commercials when it came on? Didn't it just it just ended the world.
Yeah.
It was just question.
Yes.
Why do you think Final Fantasy VII is the best Final Fantasy?
All right, so
what makes it the best one?
All right, we're probably a little biased here because it definitely came up as we were younger.
It was the biggest game that ever come
literally
out.
All right, so at the time period when it came in, we're talking 97, 98, and it literally changed the genre at the time, right? It really put RPGs as in the main culture of video games, pretty much. Because before, it was like it wasn't cool to play those type of games, but everybody got on board with
it. Had the double disc. It made it seem like
the commercials really brought you in. Like you had to be part of that time to really understand it. So I know you guys like 10.
So it's mostly like a nostalgia effect. Like, it's a great
it's more than what the game actually is.
The game actually is.
It's everything around the game. So it's really it's
that's a great way to put it. So I agree. I'm with that.
It's more than what the game is, and then we love the character. I love Sephiroth. We love the character. So that's basically where that comes from. So you had to pretty much be there. So it's more of a generational thing. I don't know what you guys think.
I mean, here's the thing. I played Final Fantasy X, and then I played Final Fantasy VII years later.
Right.
So, from a story perspective, 7 has aged very well. The RPG, mechanics, the pacing, everything like that has held up well. But, there are some things that, graphically and things like that, it did not age well at all. I would honestly argue that Final Fantasy, 4, 5, and 6 have aged better than Final Fantasy.
We're not going over that. I'm not.
You
lost me. You had me, and you had me. You lost me. So what you?
Sprites don't age.
You had me. 10, 7, 10 versus 7. What do you think?
I like 10 better.
Mm-hmm.
So Final Fantasy VII has a lot of firsts in the gaming history. I know a lot of game history.
Yeah.
So it was one of the first games, if not the first game. I think it was actually the first game to use. You needed analog sticks to play it. You couldn't play it on with the D-pad.
Yeah.
It was one of the first games, if not the first, that you had to have that. It was the first 3D Final Fantasy, and it was the first Final Fantasy in Europe. There was never a Final Fantasy in Europe before that, so it has a lot of recognition, and it got a lot of exposure for that.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of fans for that reason. However, I think 10 is a better directed, better cinematic, and more enjoyable game overall. I think Final Fantasy VII has a couple things that it didn't hold up as well.
10 I enjoy. 10
It's a great game. Don't get me wrong. It's great. It's great, but I think 10 is the better game. And you know what? A lot of people knock the sequel. They knock 10 too.
So don't mind me. Take my opinion out of it. I'm really biased on this.
But can we all agree that 13.1 was just bad?
Yeah.
There's always simulator, right?
We'll rock with that.
Really an RPG, but don't put it in there anyway. Metal Gear Solid. Because it doesn't really fit in a lot of categories. It's supposed to be like a stealth third-person shooter, but it's not. If you've played it, you know it's not really that. It's more like the greatest movie ever made while not being a movie at all.
Let's take a few seconds to talk about Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid is my favorite game of all time, period. If I had to make a list, is my favorite game. I remember I was 17 and I was working during the summer and it was grade shift and I would come home from working all night and just play Metal Gear Solid until I beat the game every night. So
and did you regret any of those nights?
Absolutely not.
There you go.
Absolutely
That's how you know
not. I got off early so I could go home and finish the game because between the character names, Decoy Octopus, come on, man! This game is insane. It was literally a movie. It's the first game I felt like it was a movie. A continuous movie, and I had to keep playing it like I was addicted. Because
Hideo Kojima realized that he wanted to originally make movies.
Yeah.
So he realized that, I can make a movie.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be a movie. I can tell my story through video games as a medium in such a better way.
Yeah.
And he did that, and he just did it so well.
Crazy
And if
names.
You havened played Metal Gear Solid, take the time.
Crazy character names. McDonald Miller, who ended up being Liquid Snake anyway. Social media handles. Where can people find you guys?
You can find me on Instagram at PartyNerd AJ. We're on Twitch at the PartyNerdz. And we're also going to be starting up more of a gaming YouTube channel pretty soon. So, keep Gamer Central PartyNerdz in mind, Seth.
In mind.
You can follow me on Instagram at Seth's Bizarre Adventure. I love you if you get that reference. And you can always check me out. I mostly do the streams, so you can check us out on PartyNerdz on Twitch. We also have YouTube stuff going on. We're going to be trying to do that more often. We might be able to include these guys in that. I'd love if they wanted to join.
Yeah, man, for sure.
So, check us out for all that gaming coverage.
All right, cool. And AJ El Negro, where... you will be. Are you on the podcast on Tuesday?
So I'll be at the podcast recording SFX live. Follow the PartyNerdz on Instagram to see it live, and we'll also be up on iTunes and SoundCloud shortly after.
There you
so
go. And that's every week.
That's every week.
Every Tuesday. Check us out
Tuesday,
there.
check that out. You know us.
Yeah.
Nerdz.
So AJ, where can people find you
AJ
on the Instagram?
Gmail. That's not. Yeah, Gmail. If you want to email me, have any questions, whatever.
Don't talk to him. What's your Instagram?
AJ Bell 5. That's it. Instagram, Facebook, Agents of Nerds. Join the group if you haven't seen it.
Very active.
Very active. Very
active.
fun. Got a lot of people in there just talking and just really like honestly getting along with a ton of people, and people would surprise. Like I've had a few surprises in there of people sharing like
100%
different kinds of people we know and everything else of just nothing you would expect, but they are sharing in it constantly and getting conversations going. It's very active.
You want to talk? You want to get into this nerd genre? You want to be a part of this culture? Then definitely join our Agents of Nerds Facebook page, group page. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HozDiesel1. All right, HozDiesel, one word. Find me on there. And always catch us, Agents of Nerds, at Agents of Nerds on all platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Comment below on anything you guys want us to talk about for the next show or what you thought of this show. Always like and share the content.
Share it. Subscribe.
Also subscribe to the PartyNerdz YouTube because that's the mothership.
PartyNerdz the mothership.
That's the mothership, and we are part of the PartyNerdz network. So you're gonna be seeing a bunch of different channels popping up.
Crossover episodes.
Yep. So we're expanding.
Giving what the people
This is
want.
the multiverse. It's here.
Yeah, we are the multiverse, and in our dimension, we are the Agents of Nerds. So thank you for joining us. I want to thank our guests for being on the show, man. Thank you for blessing us with you guys.
Always.
You guys with the knowledge you guys provided and your energy and all that.
It's absolutely real.
Shout out to James. He was a little busy today, so he couldn't be on the show. Grandmaster Facts. And that's it, man. We'll catch you on the next episode, man. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe.
Thank you. Hit that bell.
Thank you for watching Agents of Nerds. We're out, baby. PartyNerdz, go.